Wow. Wondering what's going on probably, huh? Let's get a little bit more of that. This is the right channel if you came here for Marvel Strike Force, if you're wondering. You might be confused, but what do we got here? Yeah, so kind of had to do that. Why? Well, let's see why. Why would I do that? Well, because it is that time for my updated priorities list. And it's been a while since I've done one of these, about a month. And you can see at the top of the current ranking here, I've got what I call the slot machine. RNG red stars. And why wouldn't that be your top priority? Because if you get 6 or 7 stars, you're going to dominate whatever you're doing. So I have to have that at the top of the list. So yeah, that's what that was about. So you're at the right spot. You're here to see a priorities video, some discussion about Marvel Strike Force, but also have to explain and throw something out there about the red stars. So now, having said that, I also have a note here. And by the way, for those who might have trouble seeing this, or want to look at this a little bit more in detail, I'll have a link in the description. Yeah, for those who haven't seen this before, I've got a column here for beginners, like what to focus on. I'll always leave that there. My current, kind of what I'm doing, and then some as I've adjusted them over time. You can see like I adjust things based sometimes as soon as a couple days, depending what happens, and if new things come along. And this one shows the last time I did a YouTube video. So I'll walk through these in a little bit of detail and talk about how I adjusted over to the current rankings. But since I mentioned red stars, I do want to also point out that at the bottom here I have a note of ignore red stars. It really should say red star purchases, because I'm still going to try to get any of the free ones. And then miscellaneous note, it's red star purchases, and 99% of all purchases shall be ignored. I'm pretty upset about the game status right now, but I'm still playing. I'm really hoping they fix this red star thing. It's frustrating, especially for someone who likes theory crafting and building teams. And me personally, I looked at this game as kind of like a puzzle. You've got these different puzzle pieces and tunes, and you can prioritize them to solve not necessarily complex puzzles, but different puzzles in games, and how do you piece them together to beat an arena team or a blitz team, or a how do you get through Ultimus, a certain path by using different teams, and how far can you make it, and all that type of thing. So I personally really enjoyed that aspect of the game. It wasn't just a Marvel IP that I obviously loved. It was the thought that I was putting into it as well about how to get through certain things. I like those type of challenges. So that was part of the reason I really enjoyed this. So again, this video is not about that. So this is about the priorities list. So let's just get to that. So as you can see here, my Guardians, they dropped way low because I got 7 star. I'm sitting there. They're all ready for the next Star-Lord event. So that went away. My mutants jumped up, it kind of lingered up around the top here for 5, and then became 6 star because I was able to get it through some lucky RNG there. Mercs were kind of towards the top. They then dropped because I got my 6 star. So it's way at the bottom because of 7 star. All I've got done is actually the right guard. And I have one more done. I forget who it is exactly. Actually, I take that back. It was the hand that I have done. So that Mercs dropped just because it's so far off. I've still got this kind of raid blitz thing floating around here, and the way this kind of progresses over to my current rankings is the Storm Vengers, which is basically my Storm Vengers are obviously Storm, Scarlet Witch, Vision, Captain America, and then either Night Nurse or Black Widow, depending on the node. If there's a Mordo in the node, I typically don't use Night Nurse. I switch back over to Black Widow. Or if it's a node that I know I need some more control over characters, like the Mordo boss node is one where, outside of Mordo being there, I also like it to kind of stun or control the Iron Man and the Black Panther that drop into that. So that's one that's kind of kind of lingered towards the top a little bit. Let's see the next one here that I've got. The Defenders. They keep lingering in this middle. They've dropped a little bit because the truth is red stars. I hate to say it. It's just, I mean, if I get some red stars for them, guess what? They're gonna pop away the hell up. But right now, I'm looking more for a team that I know that I can keep using on Ultimus. I know Defenders are good, but they're just a little bit too far. And my Storm Avengers team is, much higher and can get me. It actually got us to 100%. A couple strike teams today. Well, mine got me to 100. Help my team, my strike team, 100%. But the other teams used a combination of Fury and some Storms and stuff to 100% theirs as well. So that was actually a nice little development. Next on here, I had Dark Dimension 6-star. I had Black Panther, Night Nurse. I got both of those. I've actually dropped that to the bottom. I don't even have anyone I'm really focused on here to try to get to 6-star for Dark Dimension. Mainly because I beat the first version of it. I'm going through the time version now. I'm gonna be able to beat it at some point in the next week, 2 weeks maybe. And I'm nowhere near tier 13 gear for the Fear the Darkness Ultron. And honestly, I probably won't try to get it because I know that all I need is red stars. So I'll probably wait to see what team I can get red stars with and rank them up and build a 6-star, or it'd have to be 6-star team just to kind of plow through that. So Dark Dimension dropped a little bit. Nick Fury, he's kind of still been lingering around this range, mainly just because I don't have the resources for it, and I've got a few other teams that are solid. I'd love to have him. He's obviously that team, the Shield team, and Nick Fury is, I still think one of the best, if not the best in the game, all around. But I'm just pretty far off on a few Kree there, so I'll probably start listing those on here as I'm pushing to get that further and further. Mystic and Arena. This Mystic kind of stayed around here and then just kept dropping. I ended up getting the Vision farming going, and I got Loki built up a bit, and Doctor Strange. I've got him on a single character focus priority list, so this Mystic specific ranking I kind of dropped down. Arena is kind of bopped up and down a little bit. Again, I'm not going to focus my gear there until if I don't have any red stars on them. And I'm trying to stay top 5, top 10, and I've been generally successful in that, but I'm not sure how much longer especially as people start getting red stars. If I don't get red stars for these guys, then I'm assuming my arena team's going to drop. Single character focus, I had Loki, Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch, Deadpool. You'll see Loki drop off because I eventually built him up. You'll also see Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch, Deadpool kind of switch priorities a little bit, where I put Scarlet Witch ahead of Doctor Strange. And then I added Venom here. This was around the time I got that 6-star Brotherhood team, and I needed Venom to help beat a Fury team that's the healing, the operative and medic team. And I've got him to a point where I'm beating that team, so you'll see that he dropped off here, and Scarlet Witch is more of the focus now, mainly because that also ties with that Storm Avengers team. The next one I've got on here is Shield Iron Man 6-star. I ended up getting that, and then I've got the 7-star here that's just, I'm a little bit off of that, not terribly off, but it's not a high priority. And then the rest of these are just kind of, or not the rest of them, but a few of these are the specific traits. And then the hand catalyst, and then I was too far on this 5-star hand, and then all of a sudden, if you realize here, I actually jumped it way to the top, and it was just because I was getting some shards kind of organically, and ended up getting quite a bit closer to that 5-star, and then I got all I needed was the hand sorceress, and I ended up getting her, and then now I'm at the hand, or I'm at the 6-star, and actually I have Sentry and Archer at 6-star there, so they're quite a bit off. Or what I mean by that is that I'm quite a bit off on the other 3, so I'm not really pushing that. I've got to focus on using my campaign energy for stuff up here. Let's see, where else were we at? So we were at the hand, some other traits. All right, so I talked about how those kind of evolved going over. So to kind of finish up the video here, I'm just going to go through my current list, what I'm kind of showing, right now, maybe why I've done it that way, or just, again, I've kind of touched on that a little bit. Anyway, I just want to finish off with going through this priority here. So, like I said, top 1 slot machine. It's just the way it is. I mean, maybe you want a little bit more of this. Yep. That's what it is. Got to love it. It's amazing. So anyway, sorry about that. Not really sorry. I'm Fox Next is the one who should be sorry. Anyway, so that's number 1. It has to be, but I'm not spending money on it. If you want to, it's all you. $20 for a 2-star aim infector is gonna piss me off. I'm still pushing for 7-star mutants for the next time Magneto came around. Specific X-Men and Brotherhood, obviously. I'm working on Mystique and Storm. These 3 are done. Well, Wolverine, I've got the ability to 7-star, and I will spend the gold on it if I need to, if I get these other 2. This one is actually new. I didn't mention this when I was going through the adjustments, but the City Heroes Block Party, I want to try to get to 7-star here, so I can get those T4 mats, which are so valuable. So that I've got these high. I recommend, and if you've got anywhere near that be a priority, because T4 mats are really hard to come by. I'm still sitting on, I think, 1 or maybe 2 upgrades of them. I'm just really trying to think through what I think I want to do next with those, even though I have my rankings, which I obviously have put out there. But anywho, so I need Night Nurse, Miss Marvel, and Daredevil. And the Miss Marvel one is, I really don't want to buy anything there. Maybe if a decent deal comes through, I'll consider it. But I'm really hesitant to spend any more money on this game right now. I will admit that I did buy that, I think it was $20 or $25 campaign energy deal they had the other day. Those are just really hard to pass up on. I don't know if I'd do it again, because $25 also gets you like 650 gold, 650k gold with that. So depending what nodes you do. I already mentioned the Storm Avengers. Not really going to go through that. Kree. Yes, I'd love to get the Nick Fury team, but I'm still far off. Single character focus, Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange, Deadpool. The truth is I'm still on Scarlet Witch, and these might switch a little bit. I've been using Doctor Strange somewhat. He just feels very squishy to me, and I'm not finding a lot of use for him in many nodes or in raids, so I'm not certain I'm going to stay there. But Deadpool, I might bump him up, because I do like his synergy with some of the brawlers, and if I can get him hitting a little bit harder, that would be really good. Arena, like I mentioned, they're in this middle tier here because I've got them pretty built up right now. I'm luckily been saying top 10ish. Shield 7-star, a ways away, but it is a priority. Team Defenders, they're a great team. Would love to get them. Hand Catalyst, the Catalyst events, 6 stars. I'm a ways away, so it's low. Merc 7-star, I'm very far away there. So, I need to get Deadpool at 7-star, and that's going to take a long time. And then the rest of these are just kind of Dark Dimension, some traits, and then all of these are the ones I did. So, I mentioned before, I've got some notes down here. I'm ignoring Red Star purchases, not spending $20 for 3 orbs. It's absurd to me. Again, that's me. If you want to spend the money on it, do it. I do think that I will say this, and this is a little bit soapboxy, preachy, and I apologize for that. But I feel that I need to say this, is that Fox Next is really tying into something that's like, there's the gambling tendency in this game. Gambling can be very addictive. The endorphin rush that you get when you get 180 shards is huge, and that's what makes you want to do that. So that's why they have this RNG in the game. That's why they have these drops in the game like this, because they know the chemicals in your brain are going to react that way and want you to come back and purchase more. I'm not telling you not to do that, but you got to understand that. And, myself included, I'll have plenty of talks with my wife like, should I do this? Am I just, is that little gambling part of my brain tying into the Marvel IP where I just really want to get this? Am I crazy here? She's like, yeah, why don't you wait a couple days or day or so and see if you still want it. So, I encourage you guys to try to, again, if you got disposable income, go ahead, do your thing. If it makes you feel really good, go ahead, do your thing. I'm not going to, squash any of that. But I personally just, I can't get sucked into a slot machine like that. It will be, next thing you're going to spend $1,000 on the game. And oddly enough, I saw a Reddit post. The guy or woman had been playing for 30 days. And after this Red Star thing came out, they said that they decided to quit. So they compiled all their receipts. They had spent like $1,100 in 30 days. They didn't even know it. And that's the thing. And that's what these kind of games can tend to do. So you definitely got to be careful with that. Anyway, so I just wanted to mention that at the bottom. And again, sorry for the preachy soapbox thing, but it's just really frustrating that, that's the tactic they're currently taking in a game that I think could be, huge for a long time and, make them a ton of money in a long time and, subscriptions. Shoot, I wouldn't even be upset if they had an ad, somewhere on the screen every once in a while. Not in a raid, but, on the home screen. Throw a friggin' ad up there. I don't care. If that helps me get cheaper deals on there because you get some advertising money, okay. It's not going to bother me any. So anyway, all right, soapbox over. Hope the video helped. Like I said previously, I will put a link to the spreadsheet in the description below. And as always, if you want to see more videos like this, please click that subscribe button as well as that like button. We'll see you again soon. Thanks.